When you were born royalty. You were born with the type of energy that can only be given to you, okay? This energy was given to you by the Most High God. The Most High God crowned you royalty in the womb. And he knew when you got to this world, you were going to face adversity and you were going to be targeted by people who did not have your royal energy, your divine energy. They didn't have it, but they saw it in you. One of your missions was to discover that you are royalty. So if you have found this video, you have finally discovered and figured out that you are royalty, okay? And not the type of royalty that looks down on people, okay? That thinks they're better than everybody and wants to step on everybody. The type of royalty that just sits on their throne, wears their crown, loves on themselves and loves other people and loves God. That type of royalty, okay? That was one of your missions, to discover that. And the entire time, the opposition's mission was to make sure that you don't discover that you don't understand that you're royal, that you don't ever discover your gifts, that you don't understand that you're beautiful. That was the opposition's mission, okay? And the entire time, the opposition and that energy of the opposition and the enemy was running rampant through your family, your friends, your coworkers, and your significant others. And they had no idea. Some of them knew, some of them didn't. They didn't know that the enemy was using them to get to you. And some of them are finally discovering that. Some of them will change and they will be apologetic and they will turn over a new leaf, and some of them won't because they're not meant to, okay? And it's not your job to try to change them into something that they're not. Let them serve their purpose. It's called duality for a reason. We need good and bad and light and dark. Let them rock out and you keep on pushing because they cannot get to you anyway, okay? They'll just probably destroy themselves or go off and on their other missions to target other people, all right? You found this video because you have won and you have succeeded at your mission, your divine mission. It was all part of God's plan. And during this time of the opposition trying to make you forget that you're beautiful, you went through different things. Like you may have had an alcohol addiction or a drug addiction or a sex addiction or a shopping addiction or anything. So many different things for so many different people. A food addiction for some of you. Some of you may have had eating disorders. Like there's a lot of different things that the enemy did to you to make you forget that you are beautiful and perfect just the way that you are. But through those experiences, you were able to build strength and you were able to love yourself for who you really are, not for who the world told you that you are, not who these magazines and pop culture and Instagram and social media told you that you should be and how you should act. You began to love yourself for exactly who God made you. You begin to see yourself the way God sees you. You begin to see yourself in God's image, okay? So you begin to understand that you didn't need to really change anything about yourself. It's okay to evolve. Of course, at some point when you're a kid, you play with little toy cars and eventually one day you want to get a real car. So of course you're going to change in those ways. You're going to grow and you're going to like new things. But at your core, that inner child in you is always going to be there. The inner child who was the fashionista, the inner child that wanted to go explore and go on adventures, the inner child that was like a real rebel and like an adrenaline junkie, the inner child in you that loved to paint and do art, the inner child in you that loved to sing and make music, that part of you is still going to be there. And yeah, your mission was to discover your beauty, but what are those things that make you beautiful? Your gifts make you beautiful. So part of that was also discovering your gifts, and that also is what makes you royal. A royal person stands in their power and stands in their essence and uses their gifts, the gifts that God gave them, for their highest and best good, and the highest good of humanity, okay? You feed the world with your beautiful song and your beautiful art and your beautiful fashion pieces and just your energy or just your voice, okay? That's what makes you so royal, because you were willing to go through everything that you went through and go the distance to become your true self in your truest form, okay? You understand your beauty is not just outer, but your beauty is inner. Your beauty is the gifts that you were given by the divine. Your beauty is the way that you are a friend to people, the way that you're a mom to people or a dad or a daughter or a son. That's also part of what makes you beautiful, okay? You don't need all the extras. Like, the extras are nice. Like, it's okay to pamper yourself and do things for yourself and play in makeup and switch up your hair and switch up your style and switch up your bags and switch up your cars. And if you want to get a big house or a little house, you finally came to a place where you realize you are good with or without those things. You don't need those things. Those things are just extras, but they don't make you who you are. Those are just things to help you get by, help you enjoy this earth that is what it is. It's just these little things that you do, but they don't mean that's all of you. So God could strip you of all those things, but you still love yourself. And that was the point of this journey, that so you never feel lack, you never feel without. The enemy this entire time has tried his hardest to make you feel like you were lacking something and that you needed something to be perfect. And every single time that you got that thing, you never felt perfect. You always felt like you were missing something. And God said, no, my child, look at yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror. And not even look at yourself in the mirror, but you don't even need a mirror. Just sit with your own energy and just feel that. Do you feel that? That's me. That's God. That's love. That's light. That is who you really are. The reflection you see in the mirror, that's really just honestly the vessel that God gave you, but it's not who you really are. Everything that you are was instilled inside of you. Okay, that's where the beauty is. That's where the royalty is. It's inside of you. Congratulations to you for getting to this point where you finally understood. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing that you need to change. There's nothing that is wrong with your energy. Your energy is divine, okay? And because of God, the energy that God placed inside of you, that is what you feel nowadays. You may have been walking around feeling like you're high off life. You may have been feeling like you can do anything, like you could fly. That is the energy that God instilled in you at birth. And that is why you see children who they don't, there is no limit to them. Children feel like they can do anything and be anything until they get out into the world and the world tells them that they cannot. But you have done something that a lot of adults don't ever do, and it's get back to that energy of, I'm unstoppable. I can do anything. I can fly. I could be a superhero. Like, you got back to that energy because that's what you were meant to do. So look back and reflect and understand that those things that you went through were only to bring you to this point. And you weren't going to get to this point without going through those experiences, because you took initiative to learn from those lessons, which is not something everybody does. And the reward was yourself.